So here we are going to talk about two things: entrepreneurship and the wage employment. So what is the similarity between these two, and what is the difference? What are the differences between being an entrepreneur and being an employee, that is a wage earner or employment where you get some salary, right? So there are certain similarities also. There is some differences also. Entrepreneurship, we have discussed a lot about it, but wage employment we are going to compare. So what we have seen up till now is entrepreneurship broadly. That means you have a new idea, you fill the gap, you know that this is required but not being addressed. So you first start, organize, develop, and then finally manage a business venture. That is, a risk is involved, and when you are going for a risk, you make profit. So why do you take a risk? Because you need more profit. For example, UPSC examination. You see people study for 1, 2, 3, 4 years. Why? Because the profit is immense. You become IAS, Indian Administrative Service Officer. So two things become very important here. One is profit and the other is risk. What does it mean? Basically, profit is a mathematical word. Risk is a general word. But in this context, profit, we'll take an example here. Just assume there is a sweet shop owner, or Mr. Ram Prasad, he is the owner of a sweet shop. Now the cost incurs, that is, to make 1 kg of sweet means meetha, whatever ingredients he manage, he work, gas, etc., everything, it's 35 per kg, but he sells it for 42 per kg. So what is the difference? 7. 42 minus 35 is 7. So for 1 kg, or on selling 1 kg, Mr. Ram Prasad is earning 7 rupees. The 7 rupees is a profit. So profit is 7 rupees. If he say sells 100 kg, he'll get 700, right? So there is always the cost which is involved. That is, which we call it as a cost price, because once you make certain thing, there is a cost involved. So this is called all expenses. In order to make certain thing, in order to make some product, there is a cost involved. And when you sell it to a customer, you sell it in a different price, which is higher than the amount which is being incurred. So in a mathematical terms, this profit is simply the selling price minus the cost price. Profit is simply selling price minus cost price. Selling price is what amount you sell, cost price is what amount you got it or you prepared it. Now coming to same thing, same scenario, 42 minus 35 is 7. Now coming to risk. Now risk is everywhere in your life, in your day-to-day activity, driving, everywhere risk is involved. So the situation, the scenario where the result is unknown to you, is not known. That is, it may lead you to loss or false or profit. For example, the Swiggy or say, any Uber, the person who started, he has actually taken a risk because it may work, it may not work. Now they are big companies, but the time it would have started the situation, whether it is going to work or not, is not in your hand or anybody's hand. For example, I'll just take an example of a sweet only, just to have a continuation. For example, you are a sweet maker. For 10 kg, you have spent around 300 rupees for milk, sugar, maida, that is the fine flour, white flour, and these all is involved. And now you are selling it. But the problem is, when you started the business in the same area, in the same vicinity, just say a block away, there is a same kind of selling going on. That is another person who is selling the same thing in way lesser price. Now somebody is selling at say 30 rupees and you are selling it in 50 rupees per kg. Nobody is going to come to you because 30 and 50 difference is 20 rupees. Okay? So whatever you have invested, you will be in loss because you are not getting profit. Even if you are providing excellent quality, there will be a loss. There may be a risk. People would buy from this other fellow. So the future of your plan execution is not known to you. You may incur a loss or even a profit. So when we are discussing all this, where does this entrepreneurship or entrepreneur comes in? See, entrepreneurship or being an entrepreneur is always involved with risk. But it's not just, vague or free-mind risk. It's calculated risk. That is, if you want to start a venture, you know it can fail, but you don't do anything to take risk. That means you become bankrupt. You will not be able to do anything after this if this particular thing fails. That is how the entrepreneurship, you are ready to accept the failure. You are prepared for the failure. And that is how you invest money. You engage in the different resources planning. That is how entrepreneurship is different. What are the characteristics of an entrepreneur? Or you have an entrepreneurship in you. What are the characteristics? What makes you different? You are different from others because you are an entrepreneur. You are not a conventional businessman. You just don't open a business, start selling things or making profit by trading. First is ability to take risk. Risk is all about accepting failure and, rebounding again. Because success and failure will always be there. Believe in your hard work and discipline. That is, if you are not hardworking, you don't have perseverance, and you have no discipline. That is, you haven't planned something, you are not executing as per the plan, your work is not disciplined, you are not an entrepreneur. What will happen? Sometimes people will say something, someone will give you some feedback, but you don't change. That is, in order to keep your quality good, every time you have to listen to the customer. If the feedback is, say, good, right? Is constructive. You need to adapt. You need to be flexible always because you are doing it for the customers. And if customers have some problem, you are not going to be benefited even if you start any business. For example, any feedback, some constructive comes, even if the destructive also comes, you need to adapt. You need to be, because the market can change. You need to be flexible about your changes or maneuvering of your business. Because it's all about quality and customer satisfaction. Rigidity is not in an entrepreneur. Then see, if you're coming up with some product and services, and there is no demand, there is no need in the market. So what is the fun? What is the joy? Why are you doing it? Basically, you are bridging the gap. The gap is that is not available. So you are doing any product or doing any services because it is in demand. Nobody has actually targeted it, but you are addressing it. So the demand, even if demand is not there, why are you doing it? So you need to know what is the market want, what are the people, customers, what they want. Then only you start the work. Then only you go up the ladder of the business. Now, in this entrepreneurship, in a business, money is involved, economy is involved. So you need to be literate about finance, money, tax, liability, profit, loss. All these you need to know. Along with this, the money management skill, how to manage, because sometimes you may get good money. And if this good money is a good amount, you need to know how to manage it. What taxes are levied, how can you save taxes, how can you increase your resources. As I said earlier also, planning and execution is very important. For example, if you want to go from Delhi to Agra, you haven't booked a train ticket, you haven't booked a flight ticket, or say if a flight is not available, neither you have booked a taxi. You haven't packed your suitcases as of now. Water is not there, some basic necessity is not there. If you have a kid, the basic requirement of a kid is not there. If any problem is there, there is no contingency or plan or plan B. So this is not a way you should plan your visit, tour. So effective planning and execution is as important as thinking about a new idea. See, you have to write everything, you have to do the paperwork, think in your mind. Just having good thing in your mind won't work. It has to be a proper way the business is to be done. So if you see a shop has opened in your vicinity, in 1 month or 2 months or 6 months, it just got closed. Why did that business fail? The first thing can be these goods and services the person is providing is of low quality, meager quality, less quality. You'll go for once, but people won't go for next time. Then selling products which are not even required in the neighborhood, right? That is, I'll just give an example. It's whether it is right opportunity not spotted. What is whether it is required or not, or whether it is required or not in your neighborhood, both comes together. For example, it's say summer. I'm talking about the subcontinent, Indian subcontinent. In summer, if you start selling or if you want to sell a sweater or warm clothes, some people will buy, but people won't be interested. It's summer. And what was the risk you have taken? If you have taken a very big risk, huge risk, there is a mall you haven't made, it's not a good mall. Okay, it was not properly being made. And you take say 4 or 5 shops. And after 6 months, people stop going there. Even if you are providing everything good, nothing will happen. What is wage employment? Wage is money. Wage is salary, fixed amount, fixed emoluments you get for your work you do for a stipulated time. For example, week, say 15 days or a month. It's a salary. So in this wage employment, there is always 2 parties involved. The first is the employer. Employer is going to give you a job. The person who gives you a job. And the other one is an employee. The person who have got the job or who is going to do work for the employer. So there are always 2 parties, employer and employee. The employee will be earning in wages. So he is not taking any risk. The employee won't take any risk. He is not at any risk, right? So in entrepreneurship, you have to have a risk. Okay, there will be some risk because you're doing it on your own. In wage employment, wage is that you are getting salary, money. So there are certain terms and conditions whenever you get a job. Whenever you get a job, there is a salary. And what holidays you will have, what are the advances you can get. All these terms and conditions are written down on a paper of a contract where both the parties sign. Okay. There is one more thing. How is your relationship with your employer? If you are not well with the employer, you don't talk well, or if you misbehave with the employer, if you do something which is not adjusted by the employer, you are going to surely lose your job or you are going to get fired, right? So these are certain aspects which were related with the wage employer and the entrepreneurship. But let us see the difference, proper difference with some example. We'll take an example of cook and street vendor. So there is a restaurant where a person is making food. He is a cook. He gets order and he just make it. There is a street food vendor, a person who has just along a street. He is making some food. He works on his own. He is self-employed. Right? This is a difference. So let us take one by one. I'll talk about all these. What entrepreneur will have, what are the distinguishing factors. First is, how does the person make money through the activity? So cook will be getting a wage employment, say bi-weekly or in a month. And what about the self-employed? Because he's self-employed, he's going to get money by his own. Right? He's earning by one. Now, is this a person solving community problem? No. A cook is not solving a community problem. The person who has employed him may be solving the community problem. But a street food vendor is actually solving the problem of the community, because he may be making something very different. Some good taste he is providing, say some parathas he is giving. Did this person sell something and make profit? No. Cook is not selling anything. He is just, he might be getting 10,000 per month, he'll get 10,000. 2 chow mein you make, momo you make, 2 dosas you make. But a street food vendor, he will sell something and he'll make profit. They use the resources, knowledge, what they have to make most of the money? See, the cook might have learned or some hotel management. He has good idea of cooking food. He's doing that. Right? He's using his knowledge. But the street food vendor is using the knowledge as well as the market scenario. He knows what to make and he is doing it on his own and he is employing it. Okay? Do they use innovation and creativity to attract clients? No, cook cannot do, because the taste is already fixed. That is why people are coming to this restaurant. And street food vendor has all the liberty. He can make anything he want, any taste he can add, right? Because he is single and he has all the opportunity to do all the experiments. Does the activity involve taking risk for earning money? See, he is not taking any risk. He is just a wage employee. But a street food vendor, he is taking a risk. He may fail sometime. He may get success. Is this person an entrepreneur? Street food vendor is an entrepreneur. Cook is just doing a job. He is an employee. He is an employee in a restaurant. But food stall vendor, he has a stall. He owns a stall. And then he does the work by his own. And that is why he is an entrepreneur. So what are the activities done by the person? What is yes and no in this? Allows a person to make money? Yes, both of them are earning money. Finding solutions to the problem? Yes, entrepreneurship is actually solving the problem. Employment is not doing any service, not that much. The job done by the person is decided by himself. So yes, entrepreneurship exactly. Definitely. Employment, no. Wage employee, no. Okay. Whatever the work is, given to him, he is doing it. Use personal knowledge and interest to make money for oneself. So what we have seen, discussed just now, yes. Entrepreneur, yes. Employed, no. Right? So terms and conditions are being laid down for employment. Use innovation and creativity, absolutely yes for entrepreneur, no for employment. Employer can do it. Keep most of the money and profits made for a product service, yes. Entrepreneur does it. Employment, as I said, say his salary is 10,000. Even if the employer is earning 5 crore per month, he will not get 1 crore out of it. He'll just get 10,000. Maybe some increment he'll get. So there is nothing he is getting. He is getting just a stipulated amount. Take risk to make profit. Entrepreneurship, yes. Employee, no. What are the benefits of entrepreneurship? First thing is, whatever hobbies, skills, liking, the work, the job, the skill you are good at, you can use it for your employment. That is, start and do something you like using your hobbies and skills. So do what you are interested in. You can have anything related to your interest. Second one is work for yourself and not for others, not for someone else. Wage employee is working for an employer. There are certain terms and conditions being laid down, but between this is called wage employment. But here you are working for yourself. Means you know, or you are working what you like, work you like to do, and the way you want to do it. See, it's up to you. Profit makes for yourself. Whatever you're working, the discipline, hard work, perseverance, patience, all you're putting in. So you might be getting more. So you're making profit for yourself. For example, employee, he's earning 10,000. Even if the company is earning more, he won't get anything out of it. More risk, more profit. In entrepreneurship, more risk is equated to more profit, right? But as a wage employee, you're not getting, you're not taking a risk. So more risk, more profit is the benefit of entrepreneurship. Let us take question and answer. State whether the person engaged in the activity mentioned below is an entrepreneur or an employee. Rahul started a shop to sell chaat and special pani puri. He is an. Now if you see here, there is a special word here, special pani puri. So he is bridging some gap which is required in the society. Second thing is he is self-employed, right? And he is special pani puri and self-employed, that only accounts to his entrepreneur. He is an entrepreneur, right? Let me tell you, he is self-employed. He has some innovative ideas. So special pani puri he is going to sell because there are multiple chaat walas in the vicinity. So he is an entrepreneur. Shahid becomes the manager of a dealership selling food products. He is an. So Shahid, he is just a manager. He is working for a company. See, the company is owned by someone else. The office is owned by some dealer. But he is a manager there. So he is a wage employee. Ritu leaves the company she worked for and starts catering food for marriage programs. She is an entrepreneur. She leaves the job. She has taken a risk. Then she is very much interested in marriage and she can make good food or she can arrange good food. So now she knows what she is good at. So she is an entrepreneur. So many things are there here because maybe her liking she is using as work. Now these are short answer questions. List any 4 characteristics of entrepreneurship. List any 2 characteristics of wage employment. Name any one factor that is common to both entrepreneurship and wage employment on contract basis. So this we have already seen. All these answers were discussed. Now coming to list any 4 characteristics of entrepreneurship. So the characteristics of entrepreneurship, first is ability to take risk. Believe in your hard work and discipline. If anything is coming your way, customer is saying something, or if you need to enhance your quality, you need to be adaptable and flexible with your business, with your ideas, and based of your customer feedbacks. Whatever you are selling or the service you are providing, whether it is required or not, if the market doesn't demand it, why would you do it? Because it's all economy involved. Financial literacy and money management skill is the important factor, right? The liabilities, profit, loss, everything need to be known. So you have to make a plan because idea won't work. Make a plan, execute it with the milestones. 2 characteristics you have to list of wage employment. First of all, if you are a wage employer, so you are an employee. So there will be an employer who is going to give you a job, who is going to give you money. So there is no risk involved. Second thing, there will be a terms and condition contract you have signed before you join the job, and how you both are related. That is the way you are behaving in the company, the way you are behaving with the employer. That is also important. Name any one factor that is common to both entrepreneurship and wage employment on contract basis. So the main thing is both earn money. Though both are doing everything for money, getting money, earning money. So you are a wage employer or either you are an entrepreneur. See, Entrepreneur can earn basis of the risk, basis of the ideas he have. Wage employee, he will get a stipulated amount, same amount every month, maybe some increment sometime. Okay, but the entrepreneur is free. He can get whatever profit he wants if he has a good idea and market needs it. Okay guys, this is all about this discussion. Thank you so much and take care of yourself.